Hello my dear bear lovers, and welcome to another video with Volibear in the jungle. How is everyone doing? I hope that you are all in a good shape and you are all not tilted from the horrors that one can encounter in the solo queue. Well, beside the tilt and the feed in our day-to-day games, I found a weird note in the latest League of Legends patch 14.7, and I quote, "While we deeply love the bear," editor note, not designer note, "he's still been a bit too much of a menace in solo queue and we're not seeing that slow down much despite the previous nerfs." Well, I don't know about you guys, but there is a lot of truth mixed with fake feelings in that statement. To sum it up for you all, I think that Riot is regretting the changes done to Volibear and they wish to rewind time and put the bear where he was before all this shenanigans start, and most likely a fellow Volibear lover is among the Riot team that, by some miracle, managed to convince them to improve Volibear gameplay, and here we are. One tiny adjustment and the champion went from D tier to S+. The only logical thing I can see coming for us in the upcoming patches is 2 other nerfs, based on the looks of these notes left to us by our lovely Riot editing team. With that being said, I believe that Volibear does need a nerf or two, and a kit revamp instead of this back and forth with numbers that will only lead us to either a useless tank or an overpowered juggernaut. It is obvious that the balancing team is playing with an unstable equilibrium point regarding Volibear's numbers. But forgive me if I say this on behalf of all Volibear players, we don't mind engaging and dying while taking with us some casualties. We just don't like to be benched the whole season because this champion is fun to play. So, I hope that Riot adjusts their perspective about what fun means for every class of champions, and save us from these pointless and countless number changes. Regarding this game at hand, I was hoping to use it to explain how and when you should invade, but I guess you can see that I picked the wrong side to demonstrate the technique. But against Zac, you won't lose the early duel, and if no one is there to help him, it is an easy invade always. Zac power comes from ganking, so the only concern that you should have against Zac is that you try to spot him before you gank. Otherwise, if you get counter-ganked, the odds are you are dead due to his CC and fairly good engagement setup. The second strength of point against the glue champion is that he can contest the smite while being safe. Sadly, not a lot of Zac players use this technique, but with his E maxed out, he can jump from the side of the pit to other side and smite the Baron or Dragon. But as they say, all techniques are meaningless against absolute strength. This game will be a decisive call between Katarina and Kog'Maw. The one who will enable their carry to his best potential will most likely be victorious. The other thing that most of laners do and that I really hate, they assume because you are next to them it is as if you are with them. Let me clarify something. We have camps to farm as well, and that setup is horrendous. It is totally in favor of the enemy team stun and Zac engage, and they are asking me to help. Well, the only help that I should provide is not helping. But I know that if I do that, I might tilt my bot side into inting. I decided to show up only to stop their aggressive playstyle since our composition doesn't enable us to be like this early on in the game. But at the end of the day, this inner monologue does make me lose some games for free. If you are an Emerald or Plat, you should play as an Emerald or Plat and stop trying to outplay the enemy or yourself. League of Engagers, poor Katarina, imminent death and delayed help while her only hope is to play solo or camp my bot side. I know for a fact that against Veigar she wins easily, and especially with that on hit build that can melt anyone while giving her unlimited defensive stats. The only thing that I don't like about our mid lane, the Veigar, is that he is asking for us to do everything while he is living the stack life of luxury. Unlike Nasus, where his wither is very useful, and it is a point and click. Our tiny Master of Evil is weird to synchronize with and most likely will lost most of his duels outside of skirmishes and teamfights. That is why I should only gank him while having all my resources and focus on other lanes to help and get a lead out of them. All of that and just for one kill. This game is somewhat close, and I feel that the Taric pick for the enemy team is giving them the leeway to stay always ahead of us, even if we get any sort of lead early on in the game. Because think of it, he can engage outside of our vision, and the moment he lands, he can stun and bring Taric stuns with him while giving him resistances and heal. And if all that is not enough, he can be immune for few seconds. That is a very powerful combo, and the only counterplay against that is to have a better setup. Otherwise, you should play the map game and create situations where you bait the enemy resources while saving your own. This Veigar pick feels like a pet around me. He's just there hovering and not doing anything meaningful. If it was up to me, I would ask him to take Lichbane and split push while I ask Malphite to join us. But typing something like this might seem like trolling while I am really honest about it. For now, the game is at a stalemate and my performance is somewhat below average because I feel cock-blocked whenever I try to gank a lane or go for an objective. So, let's play it slow until we finish our first core item. and I think I'll try to split push myself because we need to have the ability to pressure the enemy team into not grouping all the time, or we will be facing the golden green glue with the girl with love issues. No comment. And I can't flame him because I already knew he can't do much or he doesn't know how to do more. Well, as long I am not tilted, no number of deaths will take my eyes from the victory. The issue is that how we can reach that goal. You can notice that I tried to gank bot, and it didn't feel smooth. Now I ganked mid and it was embarrassing. Only options that are left either to counter jungle or gank topside. But I know topside is winning by default against Teemo. This is what I call leeching your already winning lanes to fill the gap in the game. But the funny part until now, I found out that Malphite is building full AP while Teemo is building magic resistances, the asylum of top lane where anything is viable and no one is happy about it. On the other hand, we have Katarina on the loose. If this goes on like this any longer, we can say goodbye to this game. I think it is time to make a bold play and hopefully the team will follow. Let's hope that Malphite will group for once and leave Sir Teemo alone in the top side to rest after these long 20 minutes of abuse. The right mindset, but not the correct play. I guess if he went to the side and flew over the pit, he could have contested the dragon without dying. But under the stress and while doing the act, not all of us come up with the perfect play. Thankfully, this outcome says a lot about the enemy team. I assume they are flaming each other since their decision was to sacrifice Zac for an insignificant Drake. We will use this chance to force the Baron call. By default and against their composition, I am totally against grouping, but hints like these can help you change your position in the heat of the game. This looks promising. I assume that Teemo is doing most of the demoralization on our behalf, and we should be thankful for that. This behavior is somewhat acceptable since he didn't get any help all game, and the only solution is to mute him and carry with your plan whatever that might be. I wanted to tell my team to stop at 3,000 health points, but I fat finger it, and my brain forgot the keyboard layout for a few seconds. With this call, we are now at the starting to win phase instead of almost even. I don't think we did much to reach this stage. It seems that the enemy team are having a hard time to coordinate their calls. Well, I don't post all of my games, but one thing for sure. You can't have 5-shot callers in one team. I guess this is their problem. While us, on the other hand, we have what you can call impulsive behavior engagers with me and Malphite while having the artillery behind us pumping the DPS. And they left the shot calling for me and Malphite, and I split my decision with Malphite into 2 modes. I'll go first to stun someone, while he will pick the target that we will all nuke. It is working. Not the optimal plan, but it is doing fine for now. Now, since we are in a good position, I would like to keep it that way. The role I specified earlier can be done by just one of us. Hence, I'll take my leave and try to stop any fail attempts from the enemy to split push. I assume that to deal with Katarina, we need some sort of CCC. Bot side sadly don't have that much of spells, and Malphite ultimate is too valuable to use as a countermeasurements against their assassin. That is why I feel I am the perfect pick to deal with her. Also, I have been itching to duel someone for the past games, and I had only hand-holding moments and skirmishes. This doesn't seem overpowered at all. The only broken part is that she took 9 years to die knowing I can win against her. Also, I didn't go for magic resistance boots because I value the movement speed more as a jungler, and I should try to dodge the crowd control instead of tanking it and calculating my gained reduced stun duration. The only counterplay to this is Sir Teemo with his blind, a point-and-click ability that applies from its first use. It is not like you used a mushroom then got blinded, or you used an auto attack, then the poison with Q blinded you. Nah, just high spit in your face, then you are blinded for 3 seconds. Should we balance that too? No. Teemo sells skins and he is fine the way he is. That's what Riot would say. I don't know if the blind applies also to my bite, but I assume now that I have finished the Spirit Visage, I can sustain most of their damage in any upcoming fights. The key to winning the team fight is to fight backward. In other words, we bait Taric ultimate. Use whatever means to survive Katarina's damage and then go for the kill with the Rock and Baby Baron. This assume that we are on a one-heart melody, and since I never trust my team much, I'll start the fight and bait Taric's ultimate. And that is it. I'll leave them to their odds and skills. If they survive, then good for us. And if they die, I am already moving to my second phase mode, and that is, we are ending this game. An extra death wouldn't make my score prettier, but it will at least put us in the winning direction. I don't know how, but it seems that the team fight that was going on earlier did follow me. Talk about the law of attraction. Now that the enemy team don't have any Nexus towers, we can play the game slowly into taking all that can be taken from the map. I am sure that the Elder Drake will be most likely the final stand down in this game. A top laner made after my own heart, I was thinking would be epic if he jumped over and came back using the blast cone, and without a shred of doubt he did something far better than that. He died for the cause, and he took with him the element of surprise. By killing Katarina, the enemy team lost half of their damage. God bless all the Giga Chads top laners in League of Legends and save us from the horrors of the bot side. And I almost failed the smite. Ain't that something? 30 minutes of gameplay only to embarrass yourself miserably, and on top of that, give the Elder Drake for free. With this, my dear viewers, our time together has reached to an end. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel and drop a like while leaving a comment about your journey with the bear. As always, it has been a pleasure. Take care and peace.